Welcome to Business Spotlight, where we share insights, reflections, advice, and pearls of wisdom from local business owners. My name is Ceri James. I'm a business coach and facilitator, and this afternoon I'd like to welcome Managing Director of Cognisoft Ltd, Emma Cook. Good afternoon to you, Emma.
Good afternoon.
Let's get straight stuck in, if we may, please, Emma. A little bit of history, if you don't mind, please, and what you specialise in at Cognisoft, please.
So Cognisoft was established in 1984. We are specialist providers of case management and learning management software for providers of apprenticeship skills, information advice and guidance, and employability delivery. So what that means is our product manages the journey of what we call the service user, which is a learner, a client, participant, whatever the program is called, from the beginning of that process, that program, to the outcome. So an apprenticeship will be the full-on qualification, the whole path of the qualification to the point where it's achieved. For employability services, it's the journey taken to try and move that person towards employment, and that could be to a job outcome. It could be to get them out of the bedroom and able to attend an interview.
Okay, so it started in 1984. How long have you been involved as the MD then, Emma?
Well, as the MD, I actually can't remember. So I joined the company in 1988, and I worked all the way up. So I've done everything from general office person, right the way through support, consultancy, training, implementation, and then I became a director in 2000, and managing director, I think, was about 5 years ago.
Okay, great. Well, we'll certainly reflect on some of your learnings, maybe since you become managing director a little bit later. But who might be your typical client then, Emma?
So our clients are training providers. So anybody who holds a contract with the government for supplying apprenticeships. Our clients are also providers of employability programs. So again, they hold contracts with government departments for employability, which is sort of getting long-term unemployed back into work. National Career Service, we supply systems for the National Career Service, their case management system. Careers advice and guidance. We supply systems for sort of neat tracking of young people as well. So local authorities form quite a big element of our customer group, as well as private providers.
Quite a specialist niche area. What's the position in terms of your competitors, and why might your clients keep on coming back to Cognisoft then, Emma?
The way we differentiate ourselves is basically in who we are. We understand our clients and our clients' needs. So we're able to give them the tools that they need in order to be able to do the work that they do. Especially if you think of employability, there's so many advisors on the ground. They have to use a case management system because the primes need to evidence outcomes. What we specialize in doing is making sure that those systems are easy to use, so the advisors can use a tool. Advisors are never employed to use computer systems. They're employed to help people, and that's the crux of it. Same with youth workers back in the day when we used to deal with youth workers. Same with people who are taking learners through qualifications. They're not employed to feed data into computer systems. They're employed to help people. So we make our systems easy to use so that those advisors put that key information in, so that the owners of the contracts can get the information back out the other side in order to achieve the claims that they need to make and evidence outcomes. So the reason they come back to us is we have the people within our organization who really understand the sector, because we specialize in that sector. A lot of our employees have come from the sector, or we've just worked with it for so long that that's all we know. And we've been into so many businesses and we understand how things work. Okay,
so Emma, it's been quite a turbulent time. It'll be no surprise to you with the lockdown and interest rates and inflation rates. And I'm sure government budgets have been going through quite a turbulent time. How have all those environmental changes impacted on your business, would you say?
It's we're very susceptible to those external factors, and we're fully aware of that. Obviously, lockdown very quickly changed the way that people need to deliver, because they had to deliver online. They could no longer deliver face to face. We were lucky, our system is fully web-based, so all the advisors kind of went home, had to do things from home. The system just works. So as long as they can work from home, as long as they can work from a place where they can get an internet connection, they can use our application. It's all fully secured. We go through all of those bits, but that mobility piece, we were able to support our customers through. The biggest factor at the moment affecting our sector is actually the ramifications of Brexit and the lack of the ESF funding. Because the funding from the UK Shared Prosperity Fund, which is going to replace the ESF money for people in skills, doesn't kick in until 2024. So actually our sector has a big gap in funding that they're now facing. And this sector itself is going to lose an awful lot of very, very good talent through lack of funding and lack of contracts. So for our business, obviously there's an impact there, because it's taking longer for people to get contracts. There are less contracts around. We're quite lucky because we have we've built up a good business that relies on repeat revenue. So the people with existing contracts still use us, they're still there. So it's a tough workspace out there for everybody, and our clients especially. It's seeing the damage that it's doing to our clients.
So there's a few challenges that come from external environmental factors. What about other challenges to the business? What would you say the key challenges are currently for you?
So as well as that, I think obviously we're in IT and we're in Manchester, and recruitment for good IT staff is a massive challenge. We've had to do a lot of work on staff retention. We recognised it quite a long time ago. And we've done a lot within our organisation over the last few years to try and retain the staff that we've got. And we've also recruited staff that we feel would thrive in our environment. Rather than just recruiting somebody who's available, we're looking for the fit within the organisation as well, in order to try to retain, because it is difficult to recruit, especially technical staff. It's very difficult to recruit here because we are in competition with some very big organisations in and around Manchester who can offer probably a lot more than we can. So we need to have a different offering for somebody who wants to work with us.
And so what would specifically be different in terms of what you can offer then, Emma?
For us, it's the culture, and it's the fact that you're not a small fish in a big pond. Everybody that works here has got a say in how the company, the direction it should take, or what the software needs to do. They've got a voice within our organization. So and this is why we look for people who meet our culture, because actually that's quite important. You do get some people are comfortable in a large organization when they can sit at the desk, put the head down, get the job done and walk away at the end of the day. And then you get other people who want to be heard, and they've got ideas and they've got things that they want to say. And that's the type of person that fits in here. We don't have all the answers. Our leadership team doesn't have the answers. We had an all company meeting this morning, and part of that is what do we need to do better? What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And how can we make things better? And that's really important to us, to listen to the people that are here. And I think that's part of the reason why we retain staff, is because they do feel like they make a difference.
Right, that's quite a challenge, isn't it? Testing for cultural fit during the recruitment process. Any advice or tips or thoughts or things that you do that you think works particularly well?
Just a general chat. I'm in the weird position. I've had to let go of recruitment. I recruited every single member of staff up until probably 2 years ago. I was involved in the recruitment process for everybody. And a couple of years ago, I had to kind of let go of the reins and trust that my managers would recruit the people that are best for their teams. And that's worked well, because they have to work with whoever they're recruiting. They know the culture that's within our organization because they've helped to build it. The interview is very much, as well as finding out about the candidate, it's the candidate finding out about us. We're a technical company. Almost everybody who works here is massively into food. We have, so the first question is, right, do you like your food? And the interview goes down into a more personal level without it being a personal-led interview. But we want to find out about that person, not just their technical ability or their credentials in sales or whatever it might be. We want to know about them as a person, and that's made a massive difference.
Well, funny enough, yesterday I did a business spotlight with Food Sorcery Cookery School, and they were talking about using cookery as a basis for team building. So you might want to have a look at that one, Emma.
I have looked at that. I follow them actually on Instagram, and I keep thinking we should do something. Yeah.
Very good. So what about the future then, Emma, for Cognisoft? What are your aspirations, and where do you see yourself going over the next 5 years, say?
We have aspirations to grow, as does every organisation. Our first aspiration is to weather the current storm and make sure that we are strong. And even through the last 2 or 3 years, through lockdown and everything else, that's been our key factor, is making sure that we have our company left, and that was the driver right the way through lockdown. Everything, all the decisions that we took at that point was to stabilize the company and make sure the company itself was safe. We are still ongoing with that at the moment through the uncertainty that's hitting the sector, but our aspiration is to grow. We have plans in place. We're working on a 5-year business plan at the moment. We want to be the go-to organisation within our sector. We're one of the top 3, and our reputation is extremely good within the sector, and we want to build on that and ideally be the go-to number 1 organisation that people come to within the sector.
Very good. So you mentioned, I think you said you started with Cognisoft in 1988 and have been MD for 6 or 7 years, and have let go of recruitment, for example, as one of your responsibilities. So since you've become MD, what's been your key learnings, and what advice might you have given yourself with the experience you've now got on that day one of becoming the MD?
To trust your own instincts, I think. My route to I've worked through the company. I know this company inside out, and that's fortunate for me. I know not all MDs have that same background, but for me, it was learning to trust my own instincts. I've worked my way up, and I think everybody has a degree of imposter syndrome, and I think you have that a lot when you work your way through the ranks, and whether you're questioning whether you're qualified to do the job that you've been given. I think I've always led from my gut reaction. Recruitment, I always go back to recruitment. Everybody says you make a snap decision, and I can tell straight away whether somebody's right or not. And I've always done that, and I've had to learn to put that gut feeling into making the decisions for the company. And I've made some tough decisions over the last couple of years as to how we should continue forward, and probably some not very popular decisions, but they've turned out to be the right decisions because you're doing what's best for the organization. And that, to me, I think if I was to go back to my younger self, and the one that was even operations director before managing director, is don't be scared to put your voice out there and say what you think.
Trust your intuition. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Well, it's been a fascinating talk. Thank you very much for your time and contribution today, Emma. Just one final question. I know it's a relatively specialist area, but if there are any training providers watching Business Spotlight today and interested in a follow-up conversation, what might be a valuable next step from their perspective?
So our website, which is just cognisoft.co.uk, there's an awful lot of information on there about what we do. There is a link to a short video as well for people within the sector to explain what we do. And there's also an option to contact us, which puts you through to the sales team. So by all means, get in touch, ring the number that's on the front of the site if you don't want to go through the contact us page, but just get in touch, and we'll be happy to answer any questions or to provide a presentation of the software without any obligations.
Lovely. Okay. Well, thanks again, Emma. And it's been great. Thanks for your input. Thanks for your time, and all the very best with Cognisoft.
Thank you very much.